Hi, everyone. Excited to be here at Octane 20. Our session today is the Lifecycle Management Roadmap. Really excited to share with you guys more about our Lifecycle Management product, what it is today, and where we're going. I'm George Kwon, Senior Director of Product Management at Okta, and I'll be joined today by Ryan Bradley as well, Product Manager for Lifecycle Management. We're going to cover a lot of things today. I'd like to start a little bit about what the Lifecycle Management product is. We'll dig into three areas of Lifecycle Management: provisioning, the identity lifecycle, and access grants. And we'll make sure to do a quick overview of our capabilities today. What is brand new for you to try at home today, as well as our roadmap and vision. With that, I want to start with the problem statement. Why did we build Lifecycle Management? Well, managing users and their access is a huge challenge, and all of you guys know this. In talking to our customers, all of you, we hear about the explosion of users and applications and the amount of overhead in managing that. We hear about the fact that access and applications are increasingly distributed. The ownership of that is increasingly distributed, and shadow IT is running rampant. You also have a lot of manual tasks on your hands on your help desk, where you do build automation, you have custom code and scripts that are hard to maintain, and you've got entrenched identity access management software that's not stretching to meet your future needs, but is difficult to modernize and rip out. Across these problems, you are being pressured day after day to deliver better end user experiences, more timely access. You're being asked to uphold a security and compliance standard as attack surface areas increase. And you're being asked by your management to deliver efficiency and lower cost. This is a huge challenge, and this is why we built Lifecycle Management. We're here to help across your identity lifecycle for all of your users. Lifecycle Management is here to help with automation. With automation, we can drive better end user experiences and timely access, as well as deliver better security outcomes in a more efficient manner. So for the rest of this presentation, we'll dive into Lifecycle Management across these three areas: provisioning, managing identity lifecycles, and then access grants. I'll cover provisioning. Ryan will jump in to talk about identity lifecycle, and I'll round things out with around access grants. So what is provisioning? Well, provisioning is the automated creation of accounts. Lifecycle Management makes this easy. We have a prescriptive out-of-the-box product. When users join your organization and they're assigned applications, we can automatically provision those accounts and map the appropriate attributes. And when they leave your organization, we'll also take care of automatically deprovisioning those accounts. This happens through out-of-the-box integrations. So no more custom code, no more managing integrations. That's all Okta's concern. You get out-of-the-box provisioning with just a few clicks in our admin interface. Speaking of integrations, we support over 60 provisioning integrations to all of your top applications. Again, we maintain these integrations, and all of these integrations support your common joiner, mover, leaver use cases. But the number of supporting integrations is growing. Thanks to the SCIM standard, which Okta is a leader and supporter of in the standards bodies and in the ecosystems. We're seeing incredible growth in the number of ISVs and apps that are supporting SCIM. At the end of this past year, by the end of last year, we had 184 integrations in the OIN that supported SCIM. And as you can see, this number is growing year after year. So continue to ask your ISVs to support SCIM. That means that you'll have provisioning integration with Okta. We also have a number of partners who are using our APIs and tools like our on-premise provisioning agent to help you connect to applications even on-premise, whether that's a healthcare application, a line of business application. We have a number of partners who will help you connect into those systems and connect them to Okta as well. So this is great. Lifecycle management provisioning has been incredibly successful, and thank you to all of our customers for your support and adoption. As we think about the future, and as we've been thinking about our roadmap and how we want to innovate, the number one thing we heard from all of our customers is, I want the ability to customize these provisioning workflows. Everyone's business process for onboarding a box account looks a little bit different, and for offboarding that account. So folks have been asking us, how do I customize when provisioning happens and customize the logic around the triggers around provisioning? Or how do I customize the actions I take when I create accounts or when I offboard accounts? How can I not only create the account in Box, but set a default set of folders based on what organization you're a part of, for example? When we thought about this problem statement, we thought about, do we go and try to extend the SCIM standard? Do we go and add features within each of our integrations? And increasingly, it became clear that we needed a new approach to accommodate the flexibility and the customization that all of you were looking for. And the solution we landed on was a new product that we're calling Lifecycle Management Workflows, which will be GA by the end of April. We teased this a little bit last Octane, and now we're really excited to announce the availability of Lifecycle Management Workflows. If you can describe a business process, like when this happens in Okta and under this condition, then take this action and take this action, you can create that automation in lifecycle management workflows without code, without managing infrastructure. You can create these bespoke, customized, deep provisioning workflows out of the box. Let me walk through a few examples. Let's take that example we were talking about earlier. You want to onboard a Box account, but not just create the account, but set up some additional folders and onboarding tasks. Well, with workflows, you can define a multi-step automation, similar to what you're seeing here on the screen. Again, no code. And take advantage of our out-of-the-box connectors into Box to take actions. And have that end-to-end workflow, again, deeper, more customized beyond SCIM, and have that running within Okta. Or maybe on deprovisioning or your lever flows, you want to implement some lightweight controls. Maybe you, as an IT organization, don't own an application like PagerDuty. Maybe that's owned by your DevOps teams. But as an IT organization, you want to put into place some lightweight security controls. Well, again, with workflows, you can set up a very simple lightweight automation to suspend PagerDuty accounts and tie them to your identity lifecycle inside Okta. So when a user is suspended or deactivated. Powering, these customizable automations are a set of connectors. By the end of April, when we go GA with Lifecycle Management Workflows, there'll be 25 connectors with a depth of actions that you can take inside those apps and services available at GA. We'll also have available to you an HTTP client that allows you to make any custom API call into any service that has a public API. Really allowing you to go beyond the connector set that we support. By end of the year, we'll be adding about 25 more workflow connectors to Lifecycle Management Workflows. And beyond this year, we'll be looking to engage our partner community and have them help us and you grow the set of workflow connectors beyond this set of 50. We're really excited about lifecycle management workflows. Together with our prescriptive out-of-the-box provisioning, we think lifecycle management now offers the most complete, innovative provisioning solution. Again, you have that prescriptive scheme-based provisioning. With just a few clicks in an admin UI, you can get provisioning up and running. You also can create customizable but lightweight controls across a broad set of applications, IT owned or owned by the line of business. And with workflows, you can create those deeper automations to really replace your entire manual business process or to replace those custom scripts that are so painful to maintain. So go check out Lifecycle Management Workflows. It's available as part of our advanced Lifecycle Management SKU. Really an exciting capability that we've added this year. I now want to transition to Ryan, who's going to walk us through our identity lifecycle capabilities and roadmap.
Thanks, George. Before I start with some of Okta's existing identity lifecycle solutions, I'd like to talk a little bit about how companies have handled identity lifecycle problems in the past. Historically, Active Directory was the center of internal identity. Identities flowed from on-premise HR systems into AD, and AD, among other things, handled authentication to on-premise applications and devices. However, as more and more cloud applications became available, Okta entered the picture to connect AD to the cloud, sitting downstream of Active Directory, providing SSO into cloud applications. More recently, we've seen on-prem HR systems disappear and be replaced with cloud-based HR systems like Workday. As a result, companies are looking to retire legacy infrastructure and piping between HR and AD. Instead, they want to invest in a cloud-first infrastructure that was built for the architecture of today. They want to connect their HR system directly to their identity system, Okta. In this world, Active Directory now sits downstream of Okta. We refer to this architecture as HR as a master, or human resources as a master. So what exactly is HR as a master and what can it do? Well, some of you in the audience might be familiar with a variety of technologies, both cloud-based and on-premise, whether it's HR systems like Workday or PeopleSoft, applications like Salesforce, Slack, Box, or Exchange on-prem, or directories like AD and LDAP. HR as a master is how Okta brings all of these technologies together in order to automate basic joiner, mover, and leaver business processes, all based off of changes to data in your source of truth, your HR system. To do so, we integrate with your HR system, either through one of our pre-built integrations with systems like Workday or SuccessFactors, or directly via an API or agent. Next, let's take a bit of a closer look at our most popular integration with Workday. So what exactly can our Workday integration do? Well, we can synchronize any attribute on the worker, whether it's part of the default-based profile or a custom attribute. We have rich lifecycle-focused business logic, like time zone-aware deactivations and the ability to create a new user at a predetermined interval before their start date. And we support real-time updates from Workday to Okta, so that if there's an immediate termination and you need to remove end-user access in Okta, we can do so immediately. And we're continuing to invest in this integration. That's why we're excited to announce new functionality. For example, we've improved the download time of worker data by up to 60%. So this portion of your import from Workday will get much shorter. We've also removed the need for a custom report to connect your Workday tenant to Okta. We now have full functional parity between full and incremental imports in Workday, so all features including time zone aware deactivations, work with both full and incremental imports. And we can now use our real-time updates in concurrency with imports. All of this functionality will be GA by the end of this year, and it's available now. So please reach out to your sales rep, CSM, or another Okta representative if you're interested in taking advantage. But we recognize that Identity Sync is about more than just the integrations that you have and what you connect to. You might need to map and transform attributes from your source of truth into Okta. You might need to compile a unified view of a user in Okta from multiple sources of truth. You might need to match potential users in Okta to existing users in Okta. And that's why we support all of this functionality. And we're continuing to invest in more Identity Sync capabilities. For example, improving the speed of our imports so that we can support larger user populations and synchronize them faster. And expanding our support for incremental imports to our SCIM and OPP, that's on-premise provisioning agent, custom integrations. Both of these will be GA by the end of this year, so keep your eye out for more announcements. Furthermore, we've heard that imports in Okta are a bit of a black box. You don't exactly know what's going on, what stage of completion an import is at, that type of thing. And that's why we're excited to announce the Import Monitoring Dashboard. The Import Monitoring Dashboard will show a high-level view of both recently completed and in-progress imports. And drilling down deeper, you can see the current stage of execution for an import, as well as a summary-level view of a recently completed import. And this new dashboard will be beta in Q2. So if you're interested in participating in this beta, please let us know so that we can include you in this exciting new feature. Now, you heard George talk earlier about how we're looking to customize our lifecycle management using workflows. And that applies not only to just provisioning, but also to identity lifecycle functionality. Using workflows capabilities that will be GA by the end of April, you can help reconcile identity conflicts and other data issues using our user import inline hook, log and alert on key lifecycle events such as employee suspension or deactivation, and create more complex joiner, mover, and leaver workflows like those that George demonstrated earlier in this presentation. What's more, we're also investigating how workflows can be used to help connect to more systems of record and synchronize user data with more systems of record. And that's going to be a big area of focus for us next year. So please stay tuned for more announcements about that in fiscal year 22 and beyond. Next, I'd like to hand it back to George to talk more about access grants.
Thanks, Ryan. So for our last section here on lifecycle management, we'll talk about access grants. And what do I mean by that? Well, Ryan just talked about managing the identity lifecycle of your users, connecting into HR systems. We talked about provisioning and being able to automate the creation of accounts. But there's this key question in the middle of that around who gets access to what. So I'll briefly talk about our capabilities there, a couple enhancements to expect. When it comes to who has access to what and answering that question, group-based assignments are really the foundation of how you manage that within Okta. For many of our customers, those definitions of who has access to what is already in their AD and present as part of their AD security group definition. Well, Okta can import those groups into Okta through our out-of-the-box integrations. And then using those groups, you can assign applications to those groups. So really, this is the foundation if your logic for who has access to what is already managed, perhaps in a upstream directory like AD. However, for others, folks are looking for other tools and ways to manage those access grants, perhaps moving away from AD and directly managing those security groups. And for folks who are on that stage of their journey, we offer a few ways to automate, delegate, and offer self-service. With group rules, you can bring that definition of who's in a group and therefore who has access into Okta. You can create some simple rules based on user attributes, like is my user part of the sales department or do they have a particular role? And Okta will automatically manage their membership in a group and therefore their access to one or more applications. Really a great way to start to take away some of that manual scripting you may have within your AD environment. We also have the ability to delegate group administration through our admin roles. We have a group admin role that lets you have other admins, whether they're in IT or outside of your IT organization, to manage group memberships. And finally, offering your users self-service. Applications that you don't want to be in the middle of the access grant and that access decision. You can make certain applications available directly to your end users and requestable, and then have a simple set of approvals attached to that request that folks out of IT can manage. So again, a set of tools to help you manage that who has access to what question. A couple updates around group rules. We've increased the limit due to the incredible amount of demand and usage we've seen of group rules. And we're happy to announce that group rules is also no longer requires a LCM SKU. So we want to make this available to everyone. If you have a UD SKU or our Cyan product core SKU, group rules will be available to you without buying LCM. And with our group admin capability and a new group membership admin role that again will allow you to more granularly delegate access and group membership. So that really wraps our overview of lifecycle management. Again, 3 key areas of the product: provisioning, identity, lifecycle, access grants. Hopefully you got a flavor of what lifecycle management does if you're new to the product. If you're an existing customer, hopefully you're excited about some of the new capabilities that we are available now and some capabilities coming in the near term. A quick recap of some of the what's new in roadmap. Lifecycle management workflows will be GA by the end of April. Again, allows you to more deeply customize your provisioning workflows. Definitely check that out if you have the advanced lifecycle management SKU. We have some updates to our Workday integration for HR's master customers. Later this year, improvements to how imports are both run, speed and performance improvements, as well as how they're managed, giving you visibility and controls to monitor your imports. We have a number of integrations and connectors that we'll be adding to the OIN over the course of this year, allowing you to drive more automation into more of your systems. So a lot of exciting roadmap and new enhancements. I encourage the audience to dive into our OIN and Microsoft integration roadmaps to get a deeper picture of some of these specific integrations, as well as our workflows roadmap. There are a number of sessions to dive into to get a deeper look into lifecycle management workflows and more of the granular functionality that will be available there. Not done with the presentation. I want to leave you all with a forward-looking view of where we see lifecycle management going over the next few years, beyond the near term in this year. As you think about your roadmaps, your internal initiatives, your modernization projects, I want to give you a picture of where Okta and lifecycle management may fit in the bit of a longer term. In talking to customers and CIOs, really one of the things we hear is, hey, lifecycle management has been great for me. It's really helped me embrace the cloud. It's allowed my teams to be more efficient with automation. But we generally hear our customers asking for more, pushing us further along identity lifecycle and access grants and provisioning. One of the other things we hear is, hey, I also have an IGA product, or I'm thinking about IGA. How does that fit in with lifecycle management? And generally the feedback we hear there is, yes, these products are great for helping me with my compliance problem around some of my heavily regulated apps. But again, I want more from this IGA solution. I want better time to value. I want broader coverage of users and my resources. Which really brings us to this question and problem statement, which is beyond lifecycle management, beyond IGA, how can we deliver to you a modern identity management platform to help you modernize and more completely manage the who has access to what problem statement? And who has access to what, not only for cloud applications or your employees, but all your user types across contractors, partners, your B2B relationships, in all resources, not just applications in the cloud, but on-premise, infrastructure, data. And a platform with better time to value, and a platform that delivers not only automation, or compliance, but better productivity and security outcomes. The way we think about this future is, again, this problem statement of who gets access to what looks a little bit like this. Employees need access to things. And in the old world, those things were limited. I had a mailbox, I had access to a few apps, and sitting in between employees and their access was typically Active Directory and a set of groups and roles that were managed by IT. If you had a sensitive system, like an ERP system, an HR system, a CRM system, maybe you purchase an IGA product or a identity management system to provide deeper extra controls over users and their access to these systems. But the world is changing. There's an explosion of different types of resources and apps. Your CRM is moving to the cloud. Your HR system is moving to the cloud. You have more digital projects, and every company is becoming a technology company and embracing infrastructure as a service. With these new resources, there's a lot of shadow IT. The who has access to what problem doesn't always flow through your organization anymore. And your end users are going directly to DevOps, your Salesforce admin, to get access. Your new user types, like contractors and partners, are again going to the line of business to request access. They're going to your VP of marketing to get access to tools they need to collaborate on a project. All of this is creating blind spots for you. You're losing visibility. You're losing the tools and the control points to deliver and be responsible for those security and productivity outcomes. So how are we going to tackle this problem? How are we going to enable you to more completely solve who gets access to what? We think the future isn't a command and control strategy. It isn't bringing everything under central management and control by your teams. The answer will be shared ownership. How can we deliver you a platform and your end users and your line of business partners a platform to jointly manage all these resources and who has access to what? So what will this look like? It will look like a central place to define the available apps and resources and infrastructure in your organization and the associated accounts and roles. And it will place IT as an enabler by providing the line of business the ability to define their own resources and policies, to do their own administration, to manage their own approvals, thereby allowing end users to self-service more and more without having to go to the help desk. Creating this umbrella and this shared platform for shared ownership gives your end users and your line of business more control, but at the same time, you more complete visibility and controls. it then places IT as just one other resource owner, not the only resource owner, but the resource owner for email and a few applications in your environment. So our goal as a product team at Okta is to push the envelope, to think about these future problems, and to deliver on this vision of shared ownership, to position IT not as a gate or a bottleneck or a manager of all things, but an enabler to the business to deliver both that productivity and security outcomes. We're excited to lead lifecycle management into this future. I hope you got a great overview of the lifecycle management product and where it's going. I want to leave you with a few recommended sessions to dive into at Octane 20. Like I mentioned, workflows for lifecycle management. We have a great roadmap session on Microsoft integrations. Please dive in to learn more about Okta and our products. And with that, Ryan and I would like to thank you for joining this session, and we'll leave some time for Q&A.